The bells of St. Helena's Church rang out in triumphant harmony, echoing through the crisp morning air. Inside, the grand hall shimmered with elegance. Ivory drapes cascaded from the ceiling, and fresh white roses lined the aisle. Sophia stood before a gilded mirror in the bride's suite, adjusting the veil that framed her face. Her heart raced with a mix of exhilaration and unease. This was the day she had dreamed of, a new beginning for her and her son, Liam. Ethan, her soon-to-be husband, was everything she believed she needed: successful, charismatic, and steady. As she smoothed out the delicate fabric of her wedding dress, she caught sight of Liam, her 8-year-old son, fiddling nervously with his bow tie. His brown eyes sparkled with excitement, though his hands trembled as he struggled with the knot. "Liam, you're doing great," Sophia said, crouching to help him. Her touch reassured him, but just as she was about to finish, Ethan strode into the room. His tailored suit was immaculate, his expression a carefully composed mask of charm. "Why is his bow tie crooked?" Ethan asked, his voice clipped. Without waiting for an answer, he knelt and adjusted it roughly, causing Liam to flinch. "You need to look perfect today. No mistakes." Sophia's smile faltered. "It's fine, Ethan. He's just excited." "He needs to focus," Ethan replied, standing. His tone carried an edge that turned the air heavy. Sophia bit her lip, convincing herself that Ethan's sternness was born of nerves. She glanced at Liam, whose excitement had dimmed. The ceremony began under the soaring arches of the church. Sophia walked down the aisle, clutching her bouquet tightly, her heart buoyed by hope. Liam trailed beside her, his small hand gripping hers. As the priest spoke, Liam's innocent giggle echoed softly when the vows mentioned forever. Sophia smiled at him, but a shadow passed over Ethan's face. His lips tightened, his jaw clenched, as if Liam's joy was an interruption rather than a gift. For a fleeting moment, Sophia's heart clenched. Was this just wedding day stress? Or was there something deeper? Something she had been too blind to see? She brushed the thought aside, forcing herself to savor the moment. The reception hall was a spectacle of elegance, with chandeliers casting a golden glow over the room and soft classical music filling the air. The scent of fresh lilies mingled with the aroma of decadent dishes, creating an atmosphere of celebration and warmth. Sophia moved through the crowd, smiling graciously at guests who offered compliments on her radiant appearance and the grandeur of the event. At the center of the room, Ethan thrived. He shook hands, exchanged laughter, and commanded attention with ease. His polished demeanor captivated everyone, reinforcing the image of a perfect husband. Sophia watched him from a distance, her heart swelling with pride. Perhaps today was everything she had hoped it would be. Meanwhile, Liam, dressed in his little tuxedo, darted around the room, his laughter a bright melody amidst the polite chatter. He stopped at the dessert table, eyeing the colorful array of cakes with excitement. He reached for a piece of chocolate cake but accidentally knocked over a napkin, sending it fluttering to the floor. Ethan, who had been observing from across the room, was quick to act. He strode over, his smile replaced by a tight-lipped expression. "Liam," he said sharply, his voice carrying across the room. "Can't you be more careful? This isn't a playground." Liam froze, his small hands trembling as he picked up the napkin. The laughter and chatter around them faded into an uneasy silence as guests turned to watch. Sophia hurried over, her protective instincts flaring. "It's just a napkin, Ethan," she said softly, placing a reassuring hand on Liam's shoulder. Ethan's gaze didn't waver. "He needs to learn how to behave properly. It's embarrassing." Sophia felt a knot form in her stomach, but she forced a smile, not wanting to escalate the situation. Liam nodded, his eyes downcast, and quietly retreated to a corner of the room. As the evening wore on, the atmosphere regained its liveliness. The band played upbeat tunes, and guests filled the dance floor. Sophia tried to shake off the earlier moment, but an undercurrent of unease lingered. Then it happened. Liam, eager to join the festivities, ran toward Sophia with a glass of orange juice in hand. In his excitement, he stumbled, the glass slipping from his grip and splashing its contents onto Ethan's pristine suit. The room froze. Sophia's breath hitched as she saw the fury flash across Ethan's face. Without hesitation, he stormed toward Liam, his voice low and menacing. "What is wrong with you?" Before anyone could intervene, Ethan's hand struck Liam's cheek with a loud slap. The impact was both physical and emotional, leaving the boy trembling on the floor. Gasps rippled through the crowd, and the music stopped abruptly. Sophia's heart shattered. She rushed to Liam, pulling him into her arms. "Ethan, what are you doing?" she demanded, her voice quivering with a mix of anger and disbelief. "He needs discipline," Ethan snapped, his tone cold. "No!" Sophia shot back, her voice rising. "What he needs is love, not this, not you!" Guests began murmuring, their expressions a mix of shock and disapproval. Chloe and Daniel stepped forward, placing themselves protectively by Sophia's side. "Are you okay?" Chloe whispered, her hand on Sophia's shoulder. Sophia nodded, her resolve hardening. "I'm taking Liam home." As she carried her son out of the room, the echoes of judgmental whispers and the weight of her own decision pressed heavily on her. The cracks in her perfect day had shattered into an irreparable chasm. It was time to face the truth. Ethan was not the man she thought he was. The night was unnervingly quiet as Sophia sat by the dim glow of her bedroom lamp. The once pristine wedding dress now hung limply in the corner, a stark contrast to the chaos of emotions swirling inside her. Liam slept fitfully in the next room, his small form curled up like a fragile shell. The red imprint of Ethan's slap still lingered faintly on his cheek, a haunting reminder of the day's events. Sophia clenched her fists, her mind replaying the scene in agonizing detail. This wasn't the first time Ethan had hurt Liam, not physically, but in countless small ways. The sharp remarks, the impatience, the moments of disdain he barely masked. She had ignored them, chalking them up to the challenges of blending a family. But tonight was different. Tonight, Ethan had crossed a line she could never forgive. Tears welled in her eyes as memories flooded back. Ethan's subtle criticisms of Liam's behavior, his irritation at the boy's clumsiness, the way he would dismiss Liam's efforts to connect with him. Each moment felt like a puzzle piece, forming a picture Sophia could no longer ignore. A knock at the door startled her. Wiping her tears, she opened it to find Chloe, her best friend, standing there with a determined look and a bottle of wine. "I couldn't sleep," Chloe said, stepping inside without waiting for an invitation. "I needed to make sure you're okay." Sophia sat beside her on the couch, her shoulders slumped. "I don't know what to do, Chloe. I thought Ethan was the man I needed, the man Liam needed. But I've been so blind." Chloe poured 2 glasses of wine and handed one to Sophia. "Sophia, you're one of the strongest people I know. But being strong doesn't mean staying in a situation that hurts your son. Liam needs you to protect him, even if it means walking away." Sophia nodded slowly, her resolve beginning to harden. "I'm scared, Chloe. Ethan's not the kind of man who lets go easily." "Then you'll have me, and Daniel. You're not alone in this," Chloe said firmly. As if summoned, Daniel arrived moments later, his concern evident in the way he looked at Sophia. "I heard what happened," he said softly. "I should have stepped in sooner, but I didn't want to overstep. I won't make that mistake again." Sophia felt a wave of gratitude as Daniel continued. "Sophia, Ethan's behavior is dangerous. Liam doesn't deserve to grow up afraid, and you don't deserve to live with that guilt. You know what you have to do." The next morning, Sophia confronted Ethan. He stood in the kitchen, his demeanor calm, almost smug, as if the previous night's events had been erased. "We need to talk," Sophia said, her voice firm. Ethan raised an eyebrow, leaning casually against the counter. "If this is about last night, I was trying to discipline Liam. He needs structure, Sophia, and you're too soft on him." Sophia's anger flared. "Discipline? You hit my son, Ethan. That's not discipline, that's abuse, and it's over. I'm taking Liam and we're leaving." Ethan's composure cracked. "You're overreacting. You're going to ruin this family because of one mistake." Sophia stepped closer, her voice unwavering. "This isn't just about last night. You've made Liam feel small and unwanted since the beginning. I won't let you hurt him again." As she packed her things, Ethan stood frozen, his shock morphing into disbelief. "You can't just walk away," he shouted, but his words rang hollow. Sophia turned to face him one last time. "Watch me." With Liam's hand tightly in hers, Sophia left the house, stepping into an uncertain future, but one she knew would be free from Ethan's shadow. The weight of her decision was heavy, but her love for Liam was stronger than her fear. For the first time in years, she felt a glimmer of hope. Sophia sat in the reception area of a sleek, modern office, her fingers clutching a folder filled with evidence, photos, texts, and a USB drive containing the damning video of Ethan's actions at the wedding. Liam's innocent laughter echoed faintly in her mind, a bittersweet reminder of why she was here. Across the room, Chloe and Daniel sat silently, their reassuring presence grounding her. "Ms. Sophia Turner?" a voice called. Sophia looked up to see a woman in a tailored navy suit standing in the doorway. Her presence was commanding yet comforting. "I'm Ana Rodriguez," the woman said, extending a hand. "Please come in." Inside the office, Sophia hesitated for a moment before launching into the story of her tumultuous relationship with Ethan. Her voice cracked as she described the wedding day incident, but Ana listened intently, her sharp eyes betraying no judgment, only determination. "You've made the right choice coming here," Ana finally said. "Your first priority is Liam's safety. We'll file a restraining order against Ethan immediately to ensure he can't contact or approach either of you." Sophia exhaled, relief mixing with lingering apprehension. What if he fights back? He's manipulative, and he's not the type to give up easily. Ana leaned forward, her tone firm. "That's why we prepare thoroughly. We have the video footage, witness testimonies from Chloe, Daniel, and other guests who saw what happened. These will be crucial in demonstrating a pattern of emotional and physical abuse," Chloe interjected, her voice unwavering. "We'll testify. We won't let him twist this around." Ana nodded. "Good. Sophia, this process won't be easy. Ethan may try to paint a different picture, but as long as we stay focused on protecting Liam, we'll have the upper hand." The following days were a whirlwind of preparation. Sophia relived painful memories as she compiled evidence, while Chloe and Daniel worked with Ana to provide detailed statements. At night, she found herself watching Liam sleep, his peaceful face a stark contrast to the turmoil surrounding them. Then came the inevitable counterstrike. A formal letter arrived at Sophia's door. Ethan had hired a high-powered attorney and filed a petition to contest the restraining order. In it, he claimed he was a caring father who only sought to discipline Liam and be a positive influence in his life. Sophia's stomach churned as she read the document. "He's trying to spin this," she said, her voice trembling with anger. "How can he lie like this?" Ana remained composed. "This isn't uncommon in cases like these. Ethan wants control, and he's using the legal system to regain it, but we have the truth on our side." As the court date approached, Ethan's tactics grew more evident. He sent messages through mutual acquaintances, attempting to sway public opinion. At one point, a fabricated story about Sophia being an overprotective mother surfaced in their social circle. Sophia's anxiety grew, but every time she felt herself wavering, she thought of Liam's wide, trusting eyes. "I have to see this through," she told herself. The day before the hearing, Ana called Sophia to her office for a final briefing. "Remember," Ana said, her tone resolute, "this isn't about you or Ethan. It's about Liam. Stand firm and let the evidence speak for itself." Sophia nodded, determination replacing fear. She was ready to fight, not just for her son's safety, but for his future. The courthouse loomed large against the grey morning sky, its imposing columns a symbol of justice and authority. Sophia stepped out of the car, clutching a folder tightly against her chest. Her breath quickened as she looked down at Liam, who clung to Chloe's hand. Daniel gave her a reassuring nod. "You've got this," Chloe whispered. Inside the courtroom, tension was palpable. Ethan sat across the room, his polished appearance masking the storm beneath. His lawyer, a tall, confident man in a tailored suit, exuded an air of practiced charm. Ethan leaned over, whispering something to him, and then locked eyes with Sophia, his expression cold and calculating. Sophia's heart pounded as Anna arranged their evidence on the table. "Stay calm," Anna said firmly. "Let the truth speak for itself." The judge, a stern woman with piercing eyes, entered the room. The proceedings began, and Ethan's lawyer was quick to paint a picture of a misunderstood father. "Your Honor," he began, "my client, Mr. Ethan Calloway, is a loving father figure who only wishes to provide structure and discipline for Liam. Any claims of abuse have been exaggerated by the opposing party." Sophia clenched her fists under the table. She wanted to scream, but Anna's steady presence kept her grounded. When it was Anna's turn, she approached the judge with calm precision. "Your Honor, we have substantial evidence that directly contradicts Mr. Calloway's claims, the most compelling of which is a video recorded by a guest during the wedding reception." The courtroom grew silent as the video played. Gasps echoed when the footage showed Ethan slapping Liam. The image of the frightened boy shrinking back was unmistakable. Even the judge's stoic expression tightened. "Mr. Calloway's actions are not those of a loving father," Anna continued. "This is a clear example of physical and emotional abuse." Chloe and Daniel were next to testify. Chloe recounted Ethan's controlling nature, emphasizing his constant belittling of Liam. Daniel, in his calm and measured tone, described the wedding day in detail, including Ethan's public outburst. "He humiliated an innocent child in front of a crowd," Daniel said, his voice firm. "That's not discipline. It's cruelty." Ethan's lawyer attempted to discredit the testimonies, claiming the witnesses were biased, but the video evidence was undeniable. When the judge finally spoke, her voice carried the weight of authority. "Mr. Calloway, the court cannot ignore the evidence presented today. Your behavior was not only inappropriate but harmful to a vulnerable child. Effective immediately, I am issuing a 6-month restraining order prohibiting any contact with Liam Turner. Furthermore, you are required to attend behavioral therapy and demonstrate progress before this court will consider revisiting this matter." Ethan's face darkened, his confident facade cracking. He opened his mouth to protest, but stopped as the judge's sharp gaze pinned him in place. Sophia felt a wave of relief wash over her. Tears welled up in her eyes as Chloe squeezed her hand and Daniel smiled reassuringly. Justice had been served, but she knew this wasn't the end. Ethan wouldn't let go easily. As they left the courtroom, Sophia glanced down at Liam, who looked up at her with wide, trusting eyes. She knelt and hugged him tightly. "You're safe now, sweetheart," she whispered, though a part of her knew the fight for his safety was far from over. Sophia's morning began like any other. She held Liam's hand tightly as they walked toward his school, their steps in sync with the quiet hum of the city. The sun shone brightly, but the warmth it offered was dulled by the shadow of unease that had settled over her life. As they approached the school gates, Sophia's gaze caught a flash of black, a sleek car parked just across the street. Her breath hitched when she recognized the figure behind the wheel. Ethan. His dark eyes followed their every move, cold and calculating. "Mom?" Liam's small voice pulled her attention downward. His face was pale, his grip on her hand tightening. He had seen Ethan too. "It's okay," Sophia whispered, forcing calm into her voice. She ushered Liam through the school gates, pausing to wave him off. Only when he disappeared into the building did she turn back, her heart pounding. Summoning her courage, Sophia approached Ethan's car. She stopped a few feet away, her voice steady but sharp. "What do you think you're doing, Ethan? You're violating the restraining order." Ethan smirked, leaning out of the window. "I'm just here to see my son, Sophia. That's not a crime." "It is when the court explicitly forbids it," she snapped. "Leave now, or I'll call the police." Ethan's expression hardened. "You can try, but this isn't over. You can't keep me away forever." Sophia didn't respond. She turned on her heel, walked away briskly, and pulled out her phone. Minutes later, she was on the line with Anna. "He was there, Anna," Sophia said, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and anger. "At the school, watching us." Anna's tone was calm, yet firm. "That's a clear violation of the restraining order. I'll notify the police immediately. Stay vigilant, Sophia, and don't engage with him further." That evening, the emotional toll on Liam became evident. As they sat down for dinner, he pushed his plate away, his appetite gone. "Liam, sweetheart, what's wrong?" Sophia asked gently. "I don't want to go to school tomorrow," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "What if Dad comes back?" Sophia's heart broke at the fear in his eyes. She moved her chair closer, wrapping an arm around him. "Listen to me, Liam," she said firmly. "I will never let anything happen to you. You're safe with me, always." But even as she said the words, a knot of worry tightened in her chest. The next day, Ethan was summoned to the police station. He appeared calm and defiant, brushing off the accusations as misunderstandings. "You're pushing the limits, Mr. Calloway," the officer said sternly. "The restraining order is not a suggestion. It's the law. Violate it again, and you'll face serious consequences." Ethan's smile didn't reach his eyes. "Understood," he said, but his tone suggested otherwise. Back at home, Sophia sat with Anna, discussing the next steps. "He's not backing down," Sophia said, her voice filled with frustration. "No, he's not," Anna agreed. "But if he violates the order again, we'll have grounds for more severe legal action. We'll stay one step ahead." Despite the police intervention, Sophia could sense Ethan's determination. His presence loomed over her and Liam like a storm cloud, but she resolved to fight. For her son's safety, for his peace, and for their future, she would not falter. The air in the courtroom was heavy with tension as Sophia sat at the plaintiff's table, her hands clasped tightly together. Across the room, Ethan exuded an unsettling confidence, flanked by his lawyer. Despite the weight of the restraining order and the mounting evidence against him, he had filed a petition for custody, claiming that Liam needed a father figure in his life. Sophia's lawyer, Ana Rodriguez, adjusted her glasses and leaned over. "Stay calm, Sophia. Today, we put an end to this." The proceedings began with Ethan's lawyer stepping forward. He was polished and articulate, carefully constructing a narrative in Ethan's favor. "Your Honor," he began, "my client, Mr. Calloway, acknowledges that mistakes were made. However, he strongly believes that he has a right to be involved in Liam Turner's life. Every child deserves a father, and to deny him that is not only unfair to my client, but detrimental to the child's well-being." Sophia's chest tightened as Ethan's lawyer continued, painting a picture of a man misunderstood, burdened by stress, and eager to make amends. Ethan nodded along, his expression carefully crafted to reflect remorse. When it was Anna's turn, her demeanor was sharp and composed. "Your Honor," she began, her voice carrying through the room, "Mr. Calloway's claims are not only baseless but dangerous. His history of violence, harassment, and emotional abuse clearly demonstrates that he is unfit to have any custody or visitation rights." Anna presented her evidence methodically. The video of the slap that had silenced the courtroom in the previous hearing, police reports documenting Ethan's violations of the restraining order, and new witness statements detailing his intimidation tactics. "This is not a case of a loving father trying to reconnect with his son," Anna continued. "This is about a man attempting to regain control through manipulation and fear. Liam deserves safety, stability, and love, none of which Mr. Calloway has provided." The judge's gaze was steely as she listened, her fingers occasionally tapping against the desk. Ethan's lawyer attempted to counter. "Your Honor, the incidents described were isolated and do not reflect my client's overall character. Mr. Calloway has expressed a genuine desire to improve and should not be stripped of his parental rights based on a few mistakes." Anna didn't miss a beat. "Mistakes? Your Honor, slapping a child in public, violating a restraining order, and stalking the child's mother are not mistakes. They're patterns of behavior that endanger a child's physical and emotional well-being." As a final blow, Anna replayed the video in court. Once again, The room fell silent, the sound of Ethan's hand striking Liam echoing through the speakers. The judge's expression darkened. When the judge spoke, her voice was firm and resolute. "Mr. Calloway, the evidence against you is overwhelming. This court cannot and will not prioritize your desire for custody over the safety and well-being of Liam Turner. Effective immediately, the restraining order is extended for an additional year. Furthermore, you are denied any custody or visitation rights until such time as the court deems you fit, should you choose to pursue rehabilitation and counseling." Ethan's face paled, his composure cracking for the first time. He began to protest, but the judge silenced him with a sharp look. "Enough, Mr. Calloway. This matter is settled." Sophia's heart surged with relief as the gavel struck. Tears filled her eyes as she glanced at Anna, Chloe, and Daniel, all of whom offered her proud, reassuring smiles. The days following the court's ruling felt like stepping into the light after a long, suffocating tunnel. For the first time in months, Sophia could breathe freely. Their small home, once heavy with tension, now brimmed with warmth and laughter. She dedicated herself to creating a safe haven for Liam, one where he could thrive without fear. Mornings were now filled with the sound of Liam's giggles as he told her stories about school. He had begun to smile more often, his once anxious eyes now shining with a childlike joy that had been absent for too long. They planted a small garden in the backyard, with Liam proudly tending to the sunflowers and tomatoes. "You're getting really good at this," Sophia said one afternoon as Liam carefully watered the plants. "Maybe we can grow strawberries next," he exclaimed, his excitement contagious. Chloe and Daniel were constants in their lives, their unwavering support serving as a cornerstone in Sophia's journey toward rebuilding. Chloe often dropped by with home-cooked meals or to whisk Liam away for playdates with her own kids. Daniel, however, was a different presence, steady, dependable, and quietly encouraging. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching Liam play, Daniel broke the comfortable silence. "You've been incredible through all of this," he said, his voice earnest. "I don't know many people who could have faced what you did and come out stronger." Sophia smiled, her heart warming at his words. "I didn't have a choice. Liam needed me. But I couldn't have done it without you and Chloe." Daniel hesitated for a moment before adding, "You're not just strong for Liam. You're strong, period. And I admire you for it." His words carried a weight that made Sophia pause, her cheeks flushing slightly. Later that night, as she tucked Liam into bed, Sophia sat by his side, gently brushing a strand of hair from his face. "Mom," Liam said softly, "are we going to be okay now?" Sophia's heart ached at the question, but she answered with certainty. "Yes, sweetheart. We're more than okay, and I promise no one will ever hurt you again." As she kissed his forehead and turned off the light, Sophia allowed herself a moment of reflection. The journey had been grueling, filled with heartbreak, fear, and moments where giving up seemed like an option. But she had found strength within herself she never knew existed. Standing by the window, watching the moonlight bathe their small garden, Sophia smiled. This wasn't just a victory over Ethan. It was a triumph for Liam, for their future, and for love that was pure and protective. The next morning, Sophia and Liam shared breakfast, their laughter filling the kitchen. In that moment, the world felt brighter, and the bond between mother and son felt unbreakable, a testament to the power of resilience, hope, and unwavering love. What do you feel about Sophia's journey? If you were in her shoes, what choices would you make to protect those you love? Take a moment to reflect and share your thoughts with us. Your insights and feedback mean so much and help us create even better stories for you to enjoy. If this story moved you, inspired you, or made you think, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support encourages us to bring you more heartfelt, compelling stories that resonate deeply. Let us know in the comments what you think about Sophia's courage and determination, and feel free to share your own experiences or perspectives. Thank you for being part of this journey, and may your day be filled with hope, love, and a touch of inspiration. Stay tuned for more amazing stories.